So what do you do with those paintings that either are very old, you did a long time ago, and you don't want anybody to see them because you're better now, or they just flat didn't work out? They're awful. But they're lined up on the studio wall, and they're saying, here I am, here I am. What do you do with them? Well, I have a great idea, so stay tuned. Hey, it's Gwen Fox, and I'm so glad that you're here. And you know, we all have paintings that just didn't work out. But there they are. Either they're hidden, but you know that they're there, or they're lined up along the studio wall. They're stacked. And you don't know what to do with them, but you don't want to throw them away because, after all, this is a very good canvas, and particularly if they're big. Canvases cost a lot of money nowadays. So what do you do? You know, well, the obvious thing is that you paint over it. What if you don't want to do that? What if you're tired of this painting? What if you don't even want to sand it? What if it just doesn't turn you on? So what do? You leave it along the wall, or you put it in the closet, but it's still in the back of your mind. So here I have some ideas for you. And I think you're going to enjoy this because you're going to make gold out of paintings that just didn't work. This one happens to be one that this is ink. All of this is ink. Remember this is on putting ink over oil and it working for some reason. But I don't like this paintings per se. So let's just see what we can do here. I have in my repertoire of many things lots of little mats, different sizes, fancy, super fancy, because these are all different widths inside, different sizes. So I take these and I move them around and I think, oh, what's going to be good? What could be, ooh, that's nice. That's nice. You see, here is a nice painting. Now, what are you going to do with this? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take a pencil and you're going to put a mark around here. Now we're going to look for others. That's not bad. For a little tiny thing, that is quite good. Let's just see if we put a bigger one on here. Would that work? That might work. Let's move it this way. Let's move it down. Let's do all kinds of things here. Let's get the bigger mat and see if it's going to work that way. Will it work? I think it would. I think you've got two nice size paintings. They're on each side. You can cut these out. Here is a little one. Turn this upside down, you would really see a nice one. So you've got three paintings out of this one that didn't necessarily work. You can attach it to a cradle board. Paint the sides black. It's all ready. You don't have to frame it. But if you wanted to, you could frame it. Now, let me just point something out to you, if I may. If you have a little one, a little tiny painting, what you would do is, if you want it as a painting, you would do it large, because that makes the smallness big. Let's do this one. This one is really a nice beginning, but I don't think it's working. I really might continue with this one because I like the colors, and I like that. Let's see if there's others in here. This is a nice one. This would be trees if you turn it upside down. I have looked through this, and I have decided on a piece of this. Now, I think this is what I'm going to do. And you're saying, but what are you going to do with it? I'm going to make a card out of watercolor paper. Now, you can adhere this to this and make a nice card. Put your name down here. It would be lovely. Or what else you could do is a number of things. You could take black collage paper. Let's say you don't want black. Well, what if you did I just have fun with this. You could do that. Let's just say, too, that you want just a smidgen of color. These are beautiful cards of which are leftover. This is leftover collage paper. This is leftover painting. If you send this out with a note inside, do you think your collectors are going to love it? They will never forget you. And that's exactly what you want. Now, let's say, too, that you maybe like this one. And so you would send a smaller card. It's cut, doesn't matter. So you could do that. Then you could. This is when it gets fun, because now you can add and make this bigger by merely having collage paper that is going to be in pieces anyway. Fabulous, fabulous piece. Now, another thing you could do is, once this is on, you could go over it with some acidic writing. All kinds of things. I mean, look at this little one. I love this one. And this one would be gorgeous framed up. It's beautiful. It all came out of this one that I was going to throw away. Now, these are just coal wax things on paper here. And look at this. I mean, it's beautiful. You can do these things that don't work. This doesn't work as a whole, but it might work as this. Who knows? Perfect. I love it. Love it. These do not work, but they sure work with small paintings. And be sure and leave a comment, because I read every single one of them and I love your comments. So let me know how this works. And if you want to know more about how I work, click on the video in the little box, because that's a good one. I'll see you next time. Love ya.